Hi, family. So here I am with part two of my spiel about resentment. So if you read part one, I hope you was blessed and it was informative to you and open your eyes maybe to some inner turmoil that may be going on inside of you that you weren't aware of. Some stumbling blocks, ill feelings, emotions, different things. And maybe that video stirs some things up for you to get answers. So here I am with a part two, just to maybe just point you in the right direction and give you some answers. Part one, we talked about what is resentment. We talked about some of the signs and the triggers that can bring forth a resentment in a person. And today I want to just maybe give you some solutions. When it comes to resentment, some of the things that you could consider once you realize, hey, you may have some bitter roots and some resentments going on in your life that could be causing problems. One of the first things that I would just have you to consider that's important to do is get to the root of it. The way God designed everything is start from a seed. Everything that God created has a seed within itself that can reproduce after its kind. So everything starts with a seed. Everything starts with a seed. Words can be seeds. Information can be seeds. Literal seeds can be seeds. But the idea that I want you to understand is that everything starts from a seed and begins to take root from there and grow from there. But when it comes to resentment, one of the things that can help you heal from resentments is getting to the root of it. Being able to identify what these resentments are, examining yourself, praying, seeking God, asking God to highlight any problem areas within you that may be resentments. So getting to the root. Sometimes this could be a simple thing. Sometimes this can be a more challenging thing, and you need others to help you. You may need to go to therapy. May need prayer from a mentor or someone that may be more spiritually fit than you to help you discover it. But either way, you have to get to the root of it. Number two, consider why it's difficult to forgive or process feelings about what you're feeling. All right. Number three, extend grace and compassion to yourself. In the process of healing, it's not beneficial, nor is it healthy or helpful for you to condemn yourself and beat yourself up because you have things that you need to heal from or overcome. It doesn't benefit you at all to beat yourself up and be extra tough on yourself because there's problems in your life. The better thing to do is extend grace, give yourself a period of time to work through these things with the expectation is it's not going to happen overnight and it may not happen immediately. And you may need time to work through some of these things. Give yourself compassion because no one's perfect. We're all fallible. We're all capable of making mistakes. And give yourself compassion because God is also giving you compassion. Psalms 103 said that God pities us as children and He knows our frame. So God is merciful to us and He pities us as children because He knows the human frailty. So He's full of mercy and compassion, okay? Number four, try to be empathetic. Even when you're working through some of these resentments, empathy is very important. And the fifth thing that can definitely help you with resentments is being grateful. Because resentments are more centered on what hasn't gone right in your life. And it actually strips you of your ability to focus on what is good happening in your life. It gives you an evil eye, a negative eye. You become very pessimistic and you see the glass half empty instead of half full because all you're focusing on is what hasn't happened right in your life. It robs you of the ability to express gratitude. In the AA Big Book on page 552, for those that are familiar with AA and the 12-step program, one of the things that the writer of the Big Book said is that he heard another man of God recommend prayer. And I'm going to recap all these things. Prayer, that if you have resentment, that number one, resentment is one of the number one causes of offense and addictions. It's one of the number one root causes of all type of evil. The Bible says, guard your heart because out of it flows the issues of life. If bitterness and resentment is affecting the condition of your heart, and the heart is where all the issues of your life flow from, then that type of poison can corrupt the flow of everything else that's happening in your life. Number 2, resentment leads to all kinds of spiritual diseases, can cause a person to shut themselves out from the sun of the spirit. So resentment can be almost like a shade. David said, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. Resentment can be that thing that can cast a shadow spiritually upon your life and disconnect you from the true and living God and his influence in your life. Very important to deal with resentments. The other thing that he mentioned is that prayer, that he heard from a spiritual leader that recommended prayer, that you should pray for people that you have resentments for.